short run cost curves. Under the short run cost curves, we are going to see total fixed cost, total variable cost, and total cost curves. Three things we are going to see now. First one is total fixed cost, TFC. Fixed means there is no change in the cost. All payments for the fixed factors of production are called as fixed costs. All payments for the fixed factors are called as fixed costs. So what do you mean by fixed factors? Factors which cannot be changed during the short period is called as fixed factors. Such factors which can be changed are called as variable factors. For example, if you take this equation, total cost is equal to Q3 minus 18Q square plus 19Q plus 12. If you see this equation, the variable here is Q. The variable here is Q. So Q to the power of 3, 18Q to the power of 2 plus 91Q. So all these are called as variable factors. Q3, Q power 3 minus 18Q square plus 91Q is called as variable factor. Whereas this 12, it is only the constant. You don't have any variable. That's why it is called as constant. There is no change. 12 is called as the fixed cost. Here, till this point, it is called variable cost, and only this is called as fixed cost. So TC is equal to Q cube minus 18Q square plus 91Q plus 12. The fixed cost here is 12. That means if quantity is 0, if you make this quantity 0, 0 power 3, 0. 18 into 0, 0. 91 into 0, 0. That means TC, total cost will be 12. That's why total cost, this 12 is called as fixed cost. Total fixed cost does not change with output. Even if you change the output, there will not be any change in the cost. TFC is a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis. Now look at this tabular column. If you look at this tabular column, we have the output and the total fixed cost marked here. Output and total fixed cost. So output, if the output is 0 or when the output is 0, the fixed cost is 1000. If the output is 1, the fixed cost is 1000. If the output is 2, the fixed cost is 1000. 3000, 4000, 5000. It means the fixed cost is constant immaterial of the output. Even if the output changes, there is no change in the fixed cost. So if you mark that, on the x-axis output and on the y-axis we have cost. If this point is 1000, how do you get this horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis? If it is 0, the total fixed cost is 1000. Okay, so this is the point. If it is 1, the total fixed cost is 1000. This is the point. If it is 2, the total fixed cost is 1000. If it is 3, the total fixed cost again is 1000. If it is 4, the total fixed cost is 1000. So these are the points which you get. If it is 5, again the total fixed cost is 1000. So if you join all these points, you get a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis. That's why we say TFC is a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis. So this can be asked as a 1-mark question. TFC is a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis. How did you get this? By plotting the points which is given in the tabular column. So what do you understand from this? Even if the output is 0, you have the fixed cost. Let me explain this with an example. Suppose if a person wants to start manufacturing air conditioners, he is manufacturing air conditioners. If he wants to start his production in the month of December, will he go and take a factory in the month of December? Only on December 1st will he go and hire a factory? No, he cannot do that. He has to hire a factory in the month of July itself, because he has to do all the infrastructure within the factory. He has to buy the machineries, he has to buy the raw materials, he has to give the electrical fittings, all that he has to do that. Before starting his business itself, he must do all this groundwork. Then only he'll be able to do his production in the month of December. So if he hires that factory in the month of July, if the rent for the factory is 1,000 rupees, for the month of July he must give 1,000. So there is no production of air conditioners in the month of July. The production of air conditioner is only 0, but he has to pay 1,000 rupees. In August, no production, again 1,000. In September, no production, but he has to give the rent 1,000. He cannot tell to the landowner, நான் ப்ரொடக்ஷனே பண்ணலங்க, அதனால சும்மா தான் போட்டு வச்சிருக்கேன், அதனால நான் வந்து வாடகை கொடுக்க மாட்டேன் சொல்ல முடியாது. அவர் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ணுறாரோ இல்லையோ, ஜூலையில் ஃபேக்ட்ரி எடுத்துட்டாருன்னா அந்த டைம்லேருந்து அவருடைய ஃபேக்ட்ரி, அதனால் அவர் கண்டிப்பாக ரெண்ட் கட்டி தான் ஆகணும். அதே மாதிரி டிசம்பரில் if he produces 10 fridges, he will give 1,000. In January, if he is producing 100 fridges, he will give the same 1,000. That time the landowner will not come and ask, என்னப்பா 100 ஃப்ரிட்ஜ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், எனக்கு நிறைய சம்பளம் இது வாடகை கொடு, அடுத்த மாதம் ஜாஸ்தி பண்ணால் கொடு. இல்லை, ரெண்ட் ஆஃப் த லேண்ட் இஸ் ஃபிக்ஸ்ட். இவ்வளோதான் வாடகை, இவ்வளோதான். ஏற்கனவே பேசினது 1000 ரூபாய், 1000 ரூபாய் தான் தருவேன். So there is no change in the fixed cost. Even if the output is 0, or even if the output is 5, or even if the output is 5,000, the total fixed cost will be only 1,000. So this is about the total fixed cost, TFC. Next is total variable cost. What do you mean by variable? As the output increases, the cost will also increase. I hope you can understand this easily now. When the output is 0, the variable cost is 0. If the output is 1, the variable cost is 200. 2, 300, 3, 400, 4, 600. So what happens? As the output increases, the variable cost also increases. For example, for this you take the raw materials. For if there is no production of fridge, you need not buy the raw material. If he is going to buy raw material for one fridge, it may be 200 rupees. If it is 2 fridges, it may be 300 rupees. For example reason, I am saying 1,000, 100 and 200 for you to understand it in an easy way. Okay. So if he is going to produce 3 fridges, he has to spend 400 rupees. So as the output increases, the total variable cost also increases. So all payments to the variable factors of production is called as total variable cost. In the diagram, the TVC is 0 when nothing is produced. If you see the diagram, if the output is 0, then the cost is also 0. If the output is 0, the cost is also 0. On the x-axis, we have the output. On the y-axis, we have the cost. So, first point, 0, 0. So, which is the point? This is the point. Okay. Second point, if the output is 1, the total cost is 200. So, this is the point. Okay. Next point is this. If the output is 2, the cost is 300. If the output is 3, the cost is 400. If the output is 4, the cost is 600. If the output is 5, the cost is 900. So this is the TVC curve. This is the TVC curve, total variable cost. So as output increases, the cost also increases. So TVC curve slopes upward from the left to the right. TVC curve slopes upward from the left to the right. TFC curve is a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis, whereas TVC is a upward sloping curve. Next, total cost. Now the total. Total, how do you find the total cost? Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So how will you find the total cost? You have to add up the fixed cost as well as the variable cost. In the fixed cost, we saw all the cost to be 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Do you remember? Okay, this tabular column. When the output was 0, it was 1000, 1000, 2000, 3000. Here, when it was 0, it was 0, 1, 200. The same thing only we have drawn here. Output 0, total fixed cost 1000, total variable cost 0. Output 1, 1200. For 2, it was 1300. So what is total cost? How do you find total cost? Total fixed cost plus total variable cost, TFC plus TVC. 1000 plus 0, 1000, 1000 plus 200, 1200. So likewise, you find out this. Okay, were you able to understand this? TFC plus TVC is equal to TC. So TC is equal to TFC plus TVC. So in this equation, the first equation, q cube minus 18q square minus 91q till this point, up to this point it is TVC curve. Up to this point it is TVC. Up to this it is TVC. Okay, TVC, because you have the variable q. This is a constant. So this is TFC. So what is TC? TC is equal to TFC plus TVC. So what is TFC? 12 is TFC. What is TVC? QQ minus 18q square plus 91q is TVC. How do you draw this graph? How do you draw this graph? The TVC curve is obtained by adding TFC and TVC curves vertically. So you have to add these two curves. TFC curve remains parallel to the x-axis, indicating a straight line. So this is the TFC curve. This is the TFC curve. We have already studied this. This is the horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis. And TVC curve is an upward sloping curve. The same thing, we have drawn it again. This is TFC curve and this is TVC curve. This is TFC and this is TVC. So when you add this, how much did you get? For 0, it was 1000. For 1, it was 1200. For 2, it was 1300. We have plotted that for 1, when it was 1, when it was 1, it was when it was 0, it was 1000. When it was 1, it was 1200. How did you get 1200? 1000 plus 200. When it was 3, it was 1300. 1000 plus 300. How did you get for 0 output? It was 0 plus 1000. Here it is 200 plus 1000. 100 plus 300 plus 1000. 400 plus 1000. 600 plus 1000. 900 plus 1000. Okay. So you draw the graph like this. This is the TC curve.